Chapter 16. Bertie's Generous Offer. Monday morning Mr. Morse had a visitor. He was closeted some time with the banker, and when he finally took his leave, Bertie was summoned inside and given a note to take to the banker's home. Mrs. Morse received the note, which was addressed to her, and its contents evidently gave her great distress. She told Bertie he would have to wait a little while, and then she left the room. He waited for perhaps 20 minutes, when she returned bringing a package with her. There were tears in her eyes, and she was very much affected. Bertie wondered what the trouble was, but of course he couldn't guess. He returned to the office and handed the package to Mr. Morse, who laid it on his desk with a sigh. The banker went into Mr. Williams' den soon after, and they did some figuring together. Bertie, having occasion to pass by the cashier's desk, heard his employer say, "I'm afraid I'll never be able to raise the amount, Williams, even by mortgaging my house. I must have the money by 3 o'clock, or—" That was all Bertie heard, but it was enough to inform him that his employer was in a serious financial strait. Soon after, Bertie returned to his chair in the reception room. Mr. Morse re-entered his private room, looking as if he had aged 10 years since morning. Bertie had been doing some thinking during the last 10 minutes, with the result that he left his chair and knocked on the banker's door. "Come in," said Mr. Morse. Bertie entered, and somewhat to the banker's surprise, deliberately seated himself in the chair beside his desk. "I'd like to ask you a question, Mr. Morse," he said politely, "and I don't want you to be offended with me if it is rather personal." "Ask me any question you choose," replied the banker wearily. "I shall not be offended. I owe my life to your courage and presence of mind, my lad, and if there is any favor I can do for you, you can always command me." "I want to know, sir, if it isn't the fact that you need a large sum of money by 3 o'clock today." Mr. Morse looked surprised and disturbed. "Did my wife tell—" "No, sir, she told me nothing. You will excuse me when I say I have judged from signs, and from some words I accidentally heard you pass with Mr. Williams, that you are in a financial hole. It may strike you that I am impertinent in addressing you this way, but if you will have patience, you will understand the point I'm aiming at. If you will give me your attention, I will explain a few things that will perhaps astonish you." "I will listen to you, Bertie," replied the banker calmly. "You will remember that on the afternoon of the day the crank tried to blow us all up here, you handed me $1,000 as a testimonial of your gratitude. Do you know what I did with that money?" "I could not possibly guess." "I invested a portion of it in a stock deal, which netted me $2,000. "A very foolish thing for you to do, Bertie," commented the banker. "And you were extremely fortunate in coming out so well. The chances were all against you." Bertie smiled. "I think not, sir, for I operated on a genuine tip." "A tip?" replied the banker incredulously. "Why, how could you get—" "Never mind that, sir. Let me go on. Afterward, I put that $3,000 into another deal, CH&D. You remember when that stock was boomed? I was one of the lucky ones to the extent of $16,000. "What?" exclaimed Mr. Morse, regarding his messenger in great astonishment. "Yes, sir. I made nearly $16,000 out of CH&D, and $3,800 of that I put into a house for Mother." "This is like a story from the Arabian Nights. But the best is to come. Somehow I got the idea into my head that B&O was—" "B&O!" gasped the banker, to whom those initials were like coals of fire. "Yes, sir. That B&O was due for a rise, and I bought 3,000 shares at 48. Mr. Morse stared at his messenger without speaking. A scramble soon took place in the exchange for the stock, and it went up kiting. I held on as long as I dared, and finally sold out at 86 3/8. I made $85,000. Altogether with my capital, I now had an even $100,000. While you were ill, I made a venture in Lakeshore one day, buying in the morning and selling just at the stroke of 3. I cleared $25,000. That's all. I have on deposit at this moment in the American Bank $125,000, all made from that $1,000 you gave me that day." "It seems incredible," remarked the astounded banker. "Now I come to the object of my conversation with you. You need money, don't you? Well, take that $125,000 and use it. I can trust your word, sir, that you will return it when you can. Take it. Every dollar is at your service, and if it saves you in the bank, I am amply repaid. There is the evidence of the truth of what I have just told you." And the boy laid his passbook of the American Bank on his employer's desk. Mr. Morse picked up the book mechanically and looked into it. Then he laid it down and turned to Bertie. "My dear boy," he said in a voice choked with emotion, "I don't know how to thank you for this offer. That you could have accumulated so much money in so short a time from a meager $1,000 reads like the wildest fiction. I don't pretend to understand it, but that you accomplished this remarkable feat for a boy of your years, I cannot but believe in the face of the evidence which you have submitted. Bertie, I will be frank with you. I do need money, a good deal of money, and I must have it by 3 o'clock, or the consequences to me in the bank will be disastrous." "I thought so, sir. The amount is $150,000. I have raised $50,000 already, and with these, my wife's jewels—" His voice faltered as he laid his hands on the package Bertie had brought from his house. "And by mortgaging my home, I can raise $50,000 more, perhaps, though I am not sure. That leaves me still $50,000 to raise by the afternoon. I'm afraid I cannot do it unless—" and he looked at Bertie. "I accept your offer and borrow the money from you." "Which of course you will, sir," said Bertie with animation. "You must not pawn Mrs. Morse's gems or mortgage your house. You have $50,000, you say? Very well. Come with me to the bank, and I will place the $100,000 in your hands." "I cannot take so much from you, my noble boy," replied the banker with tears in his eyes. "Yes, you can, sir," answered the boy briskly. "Better come at once and have it over with," and he rose from the chair. Mr. Morse's hands trembled as he took Bertie's hand in his. "You are doing me a favor that Mrs. Morse and myself will never forget. I accept the loan in the spirit in which it is offered. You have saved this bank, and let me say that from this moment you shall receive a certain interest in the profits of the business in acknowledgment of the service you have now rendered me." They left the office together, and within a quarter of an hour Mr. Morse was in a position to meet all his engagements. End of chapter 16.